See, cool. Okay, just so that I don't know. Maybe if we have, if I don't know, maybe we'll use this recording someday. Who knows?
Recording.
So I think it's recording. I don't know. It's live streaming. I don't really know
Okay.
what that means. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know if there's a record on
Recording. Okay.
YouTube
Okay.
later. It would be
Are
cool
we
if
on
that
YouTube now?
possibly. I don't even know. I'll check. I'll check.
Okay.
But either way, my question is,
Mm,
so the way I understand it is basically the end goal is to provide to the recycling companies,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And before you were thinking there's three,
Yes.
now you see this fourth one. My question is why are you rather than because before you were thinking of like being the system, right?
Yeah.
Um, and now it sounds like you want to be a role in the system of the one providing to the recycling companies.
Yeah.
So my question was, if you want to be that role where there already is a role that turns collected, sorted trash into recycling materials and sells it to the recycling companies, what is your what is it that makes bin to cash better than what already exists?
Okay. One. Target audience. We Bintu Cash is going to target household instead. That is the root. That's the main problem. These roles here are not really targeting the household
Wow, it's actually really cool.
because they
Yeah, because what's already existing is targeting industrial companies, basically, right?
compete. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And is that okay?
And also second for validation
Yeah,
um, because when people realize there could be a reward system here, the sorters, both the sorters and the collectors, sorry, both the
it's all right.
sorters and the collectors could make find a way to cheat the system.
Yeah.
So since it's going to be paid in kilograms, then
Yeah.
the sorter can then just order for a waste which is not up to the kilogram they say they have. Example, they say they have 100 kilograms of waste to be collected, and then the collector comes to the house and realize it's not 100, it's 10. But either way, he will be rewarded for the number of kilograms he's going to sell to the recycling company. So he then take that 10 kilogram and then goes to the recycling company and tells them it's 100. And they also accept
Mm.
because they'll make some profits from the 100.
Wow.
Meanwhile, they actually worked on a 10 kilogram. So later, both the cash would have to, both the cash being outside the system and not knowing what's going on, has to pay each of them for 100 waste collected. But when bean to cash becomes uh, is part of the system here, then the 100 the sorter said he has collected and the collector that has approved the 100 is supposed to bring 100 kilogram to bean to cash to verify and be sure that
Mm,
it's correct. This
that is
100
actually 100.
before then selling to recycling. In this scenario, bean to cash then is able to really tell that this is the real amount of waste that has been collected.
That's cool. Wow. How did you find out this information?
Well, just drawing and just thinking, just
Okay.
yeah.
But have you oh, I found the live stream. That's funny. Make it public. Um
I think already public.
how oh, I can send.
See, see.
No way. There is actually a
Why?
live stream. Okay. Anyway, how have you validated to who cares that it's that the system is being cheated in that way, that 10 becomes 100? Who would care for a 10 to be 10?
Uh, um, B to cash will care because yeah, B to cash will care.
Who else
The
would care?
staff, none of the system will care unless they are honest. None of them will really need to care unless they're honest.
What about the recycling companies who are paying more for less?
The recycling company is going to pay. It's not going to pay more for less. It's going to pay the actual 10 that came in,
Ah,
but it will say it took 100
oh,
because in the sense here, the
ah,
scenario because you don't tell what is going to use those. You don't know what is going to use that materials for.
yeah.
But then he will be paid for the number of materials he recycled. He recycled.
Mm-hmm. Who do they get paid
You
by?
understand? They can get paid from maybe NGOs, these government officials that we are bringing in.
And
Since we
what
have yeah,
what if they care? Would they care to pay for the actual amount?
yeah, they will care to pay. They will pay for the actual amount because they're going to make money from the actual amount.
So then the NGOs and stuff. Yeah, not the recycling companies, but even like beyond them, the NGOs that give money to the recycling companies, surely they don't want to give money for 200 when it's actually 20.
Yeah.
So then maybe they are the key people that you are making a value proposition to.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to any of them?
Um, the entities.
Mm.
Yeah, I've spoken to almost all the entities um, except the what's the name? The NGOs or the government officials.
Okay. I think they would be the next people to talk to.
Mm,
Because if you can validate that they would be interested in this, then that's a really strong signal to keep building. And that's going to motivate the team as well. Imagine if you say to the NGOs, "Hey, we are working on a system to address this problem of 10 being counted as 100. If you work with us, we can verify that 10 is being counted as 10 and not as 100. And if they say to you, yeah, that's definitely something we would be interested in, we see that as a really big problem, then you can say, okay, let's set up a project in which you pay us 20,000 cities and we develop the prototype, for example. And then when they say, okay, yeah, we would consider that, then you can turn back to Abdullah and Abdul Rahman and Sila and the rest of the team and say, this is a contract that we're working on. And you can motivate them that way.
Mm,
What
well,
do you think?
that's great. If I have an NGO, if we have an NGO to really speak to, but currently I don't know any NGO except the government officials, which I don't think they will show interest unless they see something going on.
So you need to build the prototype first.
Because yeah,
So then if the foundation of your project in terms of viability is to create some little innovation where you're going to verify 10 is being counted as 10, it's not being counted as 100. That's your value proposition.
yeah,
That's like the main pathway for you to become sustainable as a project and be able to earn money, finance yourselves, grow the team, grow the project further, do whatever you like.
yeah,
Then you need to test that. That's coming back to the prototype that we were talking about, the scope. And I think I really like how what you've worked on since last week. Basically, I was thinking about it too, and I thought, what if, what if the first thing to build is the verification?
verification.
Yeah, so instead of like signing up, you know how last week we were talking about like 100 of these stakeholders, 10 of these stakeholders, and 5 of those stakeholders. And we
Yeah,
were talking about signing them all up and doing like a mini action learning journey with them.
yeah,
What if something smaller and simpler as a prototype would be to build the verification system, something where you can say, with this system, we can weigh this trash, record the weight to the blockchain, and have like a security of the accounting of how much waste is collected.
okay.
That could be something that you can then bring to the NGOs. Or could
Mm,
it? Do you think that would work?
yeah, that would work. So building the verification and is the most important. It's not. I won't say it's very important.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
very important. But how do you think you should that would be done? The verification process.
Um, we would need to write code, and we would need. Well, I'm gonna make you answer your own question.
That's a cheat.
um, what is the? How would you describe the verifications? The essence of the verification system. What is it really at its core? In simple terms,
What is it really called?
what is it at the core?
Core. Okay, okay, or the verification system. Are you talking in terms of code?
Um, no, it's even simpler than that.
Would that be smart contracts?
Even simpler than that in non-technical
Um,
terms.
cool. A weighing scale.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. I think so.
A weighing scale.
Yeah. No.
I had one. I wanted to show you. I don't know where I placed it. I will let you know when I find it.
All right.
I had.
Talk
It's a very
me.
small one.
Mm, talk me through like a short movie, a sequence of steps of how that verification process would work. Who's involved? What does it look like? Can you picture it? Where does the collected sorted trash come from? Um, and then what process needs to happen to get to the point of saying we have 100% verified that this is 10 kilograms of plastic that we can then now sell to the recycling companies, and we can tell to the NGOs this is definitely 10.
So, um, first of all, from the root and the process, since you are targeting the household, they are the first, but not just them. Any young individual who also wants something to be doing can also be picking it from any place. And then there is this weighing scale I was saying, something small. When you go to the, if you are traveling, when you are traveling, there is this scale that you can use to weigh your goods. Very simple. So you
Yeah,
can use something as simple as that to
yeah,
weigh from the homes or the households to be sure that this is the amount of kilogram you are taking from the household. The collectors use that to
yeah,
weigh from the household to
yeah,
tell this is the amount they are taking from the household. And when they
yeah,
get to um, uh, the recycling company or the bin to pass the end, there should be also a weighing scale to verify that the amount of weight the rubbers they got from the households is correct. If they
yeah,
say they have 10, then it should also be 10. Or even
yeah,
if there will be a difference, to be something small.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then after recycling or to the recycling material, it then goes to being sold to the recycling companies, which can also weigh that yes, we actually brought in 10 kilograms of waste today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Epic. Yeah, I was excited because we spoke about this during the action learning journey, and um, at the time, I remember you were like, I think somehow it came up that the idea of measuring it in multiple places, because then that way it will be a lot more secure, a lot more difficult
Yes.
to hack, because you have different parties, different stakeholders, and
Yeah.
if you measure it in different places, then it's like there's no. It would be much more difficult to cheat the system
System. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
much stronger verification. So that's awesome. And so then what would be needed to. I actually don't know the answer to this question at all. What would be needed to go from the weight that I think it's all about information, right? Think about it as information. Say this is the weighing scale, it's my phone.
Yeah.
But say this is the trash.
Yeah.
We weigh the trash,
Yeah.
and the phone says 10 kilograms,
Yeah.
or the weighing scale says 10 kilograms.
10 kilogram.
Now,
Okay.
how do we get the weighing scale to talk to the bin to cash software system so that it can write it to the blockchain?
Before it gets to bin to cash.
Yeah, how does it go from the weighing scale into the bin to cash software system? Yeah, before the trash gets to bin to cash. So if
Okay.
this is at the household
Yeah.
and they have a little, like the airport, the weighing scale, like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
how does that weighing scale send the information to the bin to cash software?
Well, that becomes a complex system when we go a little bit deep. Since you are talking about the prototype now, I think with a prototype, what you are saying now becomes goes deep. That's when we start going deep into the code,
Okay,
where we can connect it to the system straight. But
right.
for now, the collector can just use a manual inputs into the system. Example, when he weighs it and find out it's 10 kilogram, he can input it manually on the system that I've taken 10 kilograms of waste from household A, and then let's say he goes to he picks trashes from, let's say, 10 homes from the community before bringing it to Bin to Cash. So he takes 10 kilogram from household A, 20 from household B, maybe 15 from household C, 25 from household X. In
Mm-hmm.
all example, he is able to carry about 75 to maybe 100 kilograms of waste from all the household. He can't
Okay.
lie here because when he comes to bin to cash, we're also going to verify. You say you pick 10 from here, 15 from here, 25 from here, and all the trash you picked so far is 100. Then when you come to bin to cash, when you're bringing those trash to bin to cash, then that's supposed to be, it should be equal to the 100 you took from the household, equal or closer to what the collector took from the household.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that becomes one of the verification process here.
So you want to do it non-digital first?
Yeah, for the prototype. If
Yeah, I think that's
possible, we
cool.
can just go straight to the digital.
I think that's cool. Maybe you could literally do it by following each person for one day. So you go out with a waste collector and you're like, hey, do you mind if I just shadow you just to learn about the work, and can I
Yeah,
also record the weights that it is?
yes, yeah,
And then you go with them and they collect the trash, and then once you're at the recycling companies, you also maybe you can be the person that records everything
everything for now. Yeah,
for
we
now.
can do
And
yes,
you you can see that way if the weight is being recorded,
coded. Yeah.
um, what they think of it. And wow, this is crazy, man. Because then if you think about the incentive system as well, that would really like
Ah,
just energize all of this and get the whole
yeah,
system running.
yeah,
Wow, that's mad. That's so cool.
I think so.
Yeah.
Great, that's great.
So, oh, I just realized as well. It
We
doesn't need to be non-digital in terms of it doesn't need to be non-digital in terms of writing it on pen and paper. You can set up a little form for it. Do you remember how Um, I was mentioning these forms in the action learning journey. You can create them super easily. I'll show you now even.
Okay.
Let me. mm, Okay. Into cache, weighing scale, prototype. And then you can make a form. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
So here, how would you want to structure this? Okay, wait, let me say some more. Let me say some more. So actually, I'll keep sharing screen. Um, yeah. So I was helping Wada with a event recently, and um, you might recognize some of these people.
All of them.
Um, I made them a developer enrollment form
Okay.
for an event that they were organizing. So
Okay.
this page here, with all of the different sections, is the same as this form that we can write here. And
Okay.
we can then just add it into any website that you like.
Okay.
Um, and then the data from the form, when people enter it, you can see it in a database as well,
Okay.
like this. So you can see they submitted their full name, their age, their phone. That's these fields here.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I guess it.
So what I'm thinking we can do is write a form for how you want to do the weighing prototype. And then when you go around to the different stakeholders and you are seeing the trash being collected, you can ask if you can weigh it and you can record it in here. How do you think, my question to you is, how do you think this form needs to be structured so that it collects all of the information in a way that's really helpful? You know how I was talking about this example of the weighing scale and the trash, and how does the weighing scale tell the system so that it can do the verification, write it to the blockchain, and that's
Yeah.
the whole innovation. In a way, with this form, you're like pretending to be that system. You're pretending to be the weighing scale, but you're just doing it manually. And then you're
Yeah.
pretending to send the information to the blockchain, but it's just represented in terms of form inputs that you enter. So it's a way for you to sort of embody the system that you're then later going to build with code. Did you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Cool. So what do you think needs to be in the form? You think about how to structure it, and then I'll write the form for you.
So first registration. So in registering you don't need to I think you wouldn't need to anytime input all of your details before you can do so. You should immediately you register on the Bean to Cash app once, then that is it. The next time will just be the weighing skills. Anytime you want to weigh, it's just the weighing skills. So with the registration, we need your name, your full name, um, So do you think the date of birth here is important here?
Sorry, 1 second.
Name, location, where you stay, and
Location. Yeah.
your house number. Yeah,
So this is for a household.
household. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I think this three is okay for the household now.
Okay.
GPS, location, house number. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And then also for the collectors,
Yeah. Also
waste
registration.
collector, registration for waste collector. Yeah. So also name, full name,
Yeah.
ID. Um, we wouldn't need location for the waste collector, but yeah, full name and ID. So what else? Yeah. Would we need facial verification here?
Hmm. Maybe to receive an ID, they need to verify their identity.
Okay.
What
Okay.
else? Maybe we can come back to it.
Yeah, we can come up to it. But I think it's very important to, so you don't just pick anyone's ID
Yeah.
and just do that.
Okay. Next one. More
Um,
registration.
registration, yeah. So I I don't think the recycling, okay, recycling company, yeah, registration recycling company, or would would that be important for now?
Yes. Let's do it.
Then name of the recycling company, business name,
Yeah.
and then location. Yeah, I think that's okay for that's this two is okay for the recycling company.
Okay. So then, now bring yourself into the moment when you start at the household and they have ordered for the collector to arrive because they have trash that they've sorted that they're ready to be collected. What information would be needed to collect to introduce verification into this system?
What I didn't catch your question, please.
What information would you need to collect to verify the weight of the trash?
Information. Information you we will need to collect to verify the weight of the trash.
Yeah.
It will just be the weighing scale, just weighing the trash they have.
What if they stand on the weighing scale?
This okay, that's where the cheating I'm talking about comes in here.
Okay.
So uh, doing it manually, the collector wouldn't allow that because he will need to account for it when he gets to bin to cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. So that's all that's needed, just the weight.
Yeah, just
And who records the weight? Is it the
the weight is
household or the
mm,
collector?
the collector records the weight.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. Then they have collected the trash. What happens
Yeah.
next? And they've recorded the weight. What happens next?
They then now sell those weights to bin to cash.
Oh, they sell it to bin to cash.
Yeah, they sell it to bin to cash.
Um. Okay. So then we're in bin to cash stage here.
Yeah,
Bin to cash.
cash. Okay. Also, you remember when you were asking me about me being in the middle of the collectors and the recycling companies?
Yeah.
Yeah. These recycling materials takes time to be recycled. This waste it takes time to be turned into recycling materials.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, One of the reasons being that a lot of people there's a lot of traffic at the at the recycling plant where it turns the collected waste into recycling materials.
Uh huh.
So when the if each and every waste sorted waste collector needs to go to those plants to then wait for them to turn into recycling material, it will take their whole time, and they're supposed to be there to verify if the amount of trash they send is what is being recycled for them. So being to cash coming in the middle here avoid all those process for them. DS is to just bring it.
They just bring what?
The sorted waste. Like
So then
this
does bin to cash convert it into the recycled material as well? The
it,
material for recycling as well.
yeah, it takes time for that. It takes time to be converted to recycling materials because of traffic and then less recycling plants. There is not enough recycling plants in Ghana. Are you getting
Sorry,
it?
1 second.
Okay.
Um, so included in included in the bin to cash operations is, would they weigh it again?
Yeah, being to cash will have to wait again to verify that
Okay.
the amount of
And then
trash they
they
use.
convert the collected trash into recycling materials?
Yeah, they turn the collected trash into recycling materials. I mean, it's
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So, and um, why? I don't understand why you want to do the work of converting the trash into recycling materials. That feels to me like quite a um, that would take quite a lot of operations, and you'd have to buy equipment for that. And if it's already happening, yeah, why do you want to do this step within the bin to cash section? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I get what you mean. I thought of that. That would be the cons of me doing the work there. It's a cons there, but like I said earlier, just for one for verification,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, verification. Yeah.
So why is it more secure if bin to cash does that step?
Why is it more secure?
Yeah, I just
Uh,
didn't understand it fully.
Trust issues. One,
In what sense?
like I said, in the terms of people cheating the system, people using less, taking less trash, but
Mm,
proving that saying that they send more. Like the 100 is to 10 I told you earlier. The
okay,
person take 10 trash and then kilograms of trash and then report that it's 100.
okay.
You think we should eliminate that?
I think it would be much less complicated you're
Yes,
not
yes.
if you're not converting, because it's so physical. Like it's not
Ah,
because
okay.
it's like you'd have to buy like I don't know. There's a lot of setup cost because it's physical
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. That's true.
It's
That's
it's
true.
not like software where you from your room you can just write code for
Mm,
and build it.
that's true. That's true, dude.
What do you think?
That's true. I thought of that. We coming to the middle here becomes a lot of work, though.
Yeah.
A lot of work. A
So
lot.
what are those people called that do that already?
Uh, well, when I went to the recycling plant that turns waste into the recycling materials, when I went there, I I followed one of the mains there to the recycling company. But the name I see them calling them a material men. They're calling them material men.
I think I lost audio. Ah, you're back. Okay.
Yeah,
Material converters.
yeah, converters.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So
But with the sense when I spoke about being to cash being in the middle, at the beginning, being to cash doesn't need to. It there will be a lot of operations do, but
yeah.
being to cash doesn't need to get the machines to turn it into recycling materials.
Sorry, say it again. It cut out a little bit.
When the in the system where being to cash is going to be in the middle, yeah, being to cash is not going to buy the material at the plant, the recycling plant that turns it into materials. Being to cash is not going to be in the middle there. It's not going to do that. Bean to cash will then use those sorted waste uh, that was brought to bean to cash. Will send it to the recycling plants to then turn it into recycling material for them. Bean to cash is not going to do that work.
Okay.
Do you understand? They are business on their own, and what they do is that they want people to bring in collected waste or sorted
Mm,
waste,
mm.
so they will turn it into recycling materials for them, and then you pay them for sorting that waste into recycling material. Then you sell that sorted waste to the recycling companies.
Oh. So it's the same people that bring the collected trash to the people that turn it into recycling materials. And then the collectors, they pay them, they receive the recycling materials, and then they go and sell the recycling materials to the recycling companies.
Yes.
That makes sense. And I did see that in the video because it's all in one space, isn't it? They
Yeah.
bring the trash in,
Yeah.
create recycling, bring it.
Yeah. So they the recycling plant, those that turns the materials
Oh, I
into the
see.
recycling material, they don't have anything to do with the recycling companies.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They have nothing to do with the recycling companies. They just change those materials into materials, and then you the one that brings the material, you then go and sell it to a recycling company.
Yeah.
Also, I also talked of this during the action learning. You asked of how will money flow into the system. You spoke
Mm.
about that. So that's a DAO system, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. When you asked how will money be flowing to be into cash, if everything's supposed to be working, there should be some ways where money should be flowing that can be used, because I was also thinking maybe I'm not getting it right, but how will being to cash be able to pay the sorter from home and also pay the collector if they don't have any stream of income coming in?
Who been to cash?
Yes.
Well, um, that's where the fund comes in.
The what?
The fund.
Fund.
The
Fund.
fund, yeah.
Mm, but will the fund keep coming? That's an issue.
Well, that's why you need to find the stakeholder that values your work, that would want to enable this system. So we were, before my understanding from what you were saying was that the recycling companies could finance that fund. Like, imagine each month they put 5,000 cities into a fund, and you convert those 5,000 cities into ADA, and you pay ADA to all of the households to um, That's the incentive, the reward system. Then, if the recycling companies are not incentivized to verify the 10 is 10, not 100 thing,
Mhm.
then they probably wouldn't want to pay for this system, right?
And yeah, that's true. But the issue here is why would the recycling company do that? Why would they pay you?
Who?
Why would the recycling company pay you into cash?
Well, they would if they wanted to not pay extra for the recycling materials. Because if they thought they yeah, now that we understand the system more, it doesn't make sense. Because I thought before that yeah, I remember before we were thinking that they buy trash, sorted trash,
Yeah.
and they pay for that. So if then in that scenario, that's like before when there was only three people in the system, not four. In that
Mhm.
scenario, they want to pay only for 50 kilograms,
Yeah.
right? So they would be if they want to buy 50 kilograms, they don't want to pay for 100. Sorry,
Yes.
I'll use the same numbers as in your example. If they want to buy 10 kilograms, they don't want to pay for 100.
Yes.
So then they are incentivized to verify the weight of what they're actually paying for. But
Okay.
now that there's the fourth stakeholder that converts it into recycling material and they buy the recycling material, the recycling company is just going to pay the miscounting happens before. The cheating happens before,
Okay.
right? So by the time it gets to the recycling companies, when they pay for 10 kilograms of recycling material, probably they already verify that it's 10 kilograms, right?
Yes.
Even if it was counted as 100 elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. They will verify.
So they already have their weighing scale.
Yeah. They have their weighing scale. The recycling companies for the when I went to the field, the what's the name? The recycling plant that turns the waste into the recycling materials, they have a weighing scale there, which the way the recycling material first before sending it to recycling companies. I don't know if in the videos there was the videos I thought show you the you saw the recycling materials in the video in a sack. So
Yes.
and then each sack is 30 kilogram.
Yeah.
So they already have an idea that each sack you are bringing is 30 kilogram. So they then weigh it from their end. The recycling company weigh it to verify if it is 30 kilogram, and then pay you for the kilogram
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
they pay for kilogram, not per sack. So if you bring in a sack which is 25 kilogram, they'll pay you 25 kilogram, not the 30 kilogram.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So then the whole thing is to. Oh, it's a lot of system.
A
Because now I'm
complicated.
thinking about the whole bin to cash mission is to get the households involved.
Yes.
And for
Yes.
that, we need to incentivize them. So
Yes.
I think maybe the recycling companies could still finance the fund because they would basically be paying to bin to cash, paying for the fund in order to receive more sorted trash, right? more recycling materials. Is that correct?
One, it's correct. One thing one thing that may set us back is most of the trash coming from homes, unless
Yeah.
maybe we decide that we want a specific trash. Do you
Yeah.
understand? For example, if maybe it's a bottle or a particular trash, then which is of high value to the recycling company, that's different. But most of the trash that are home, the rubbers that are home, are not the materials they want more. When I went, I realized
Oh,
that there are materials they prefer some materials compared to some other materials.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the that's also one of the reasons that the material converters or material men don't follow the household, because the material that the households are having are not they don't get the amount they don't get a good amount for those materials. Example,
Yeah, I follow, I
material
follow, I follow.
you follow, if a
So,
material A is used for a polytank, which is
yeah,
expensive when it's being sold, then the
yeah.
recycling company will pay a better amount for material A than a
Mm-hmm.
material B that is used to make a something that is not really expensive or less quality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so then, if the recycling companies don't value the plastic that the households are producing as waste, then how do we, then what do we do with that waste?
So it's another issue. I've been watching some videos for some time now. So this is prototype. What we are doing now is prototype. In the long run, I'm thinking Bean to Cash should also be a recycling company, should have its own recycling company. In a sense that there are some ways recycling company may not want, but can be used to do a lot of nice stuffs which Bean to Cash can do. Example, I realize that they make bricks from raw materials, rubbers. They make bricks, building bricks for building from these materials. So if there are a lot of trash which recycling company doesn't have, then it becomes there's nothing to be done. Maybe they don't turn those, they don't need to turn those, they don't have the technology or the plans to turn those trash into the materials they want. So we can then decide to use it for cool stuffs that will also go to the community.
Mm,
In example, the bricks I'm saying like this, we can Bean to Cash in the long run, Bean to Cash can partner with a real estate to be producing these floor bricks for them in the house. This nice bricks that I used to be to compound of the house. They used to. I don't know. I'll send you a video so you watch something like that. So they can use it for that. And also there's an buildings, schools. We can partner with government organization to build schools with this recycling materials, which may change the mindset of the students when they realize that even the school I'm studying in is being built by recycling materials like plastic. Then the students can then have some mindset and tell himself then there's no need to be throwing rubbish around, because my school is a great example of what this trash has been built with. What do you think?
yeah, 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 yeah. I just think it's a. I'm trying to think through the business model angle,
Okay.
and it's a very. Anytime that it sounds like things would start to get more physical, I just I get
You don't
I
like the
get
physical
afraid.
aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. But
No, but
how
it's
how
good
have you
because
been?
it's real. It's just it's harder to